Welcome to Wednesday, the 22nd of May, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who feel stuck in a 9-to-5 job, or maybe it's a business that they own that feels like a job. I help those people take their knowledge and experience in something that they're really passionate about to help other people and get paid doing it. So I finished up today working with one of my high-tier clients. We'd been working on a specific task that involved work over the last 3 months. And I want to share with you today a process that I've adopted with all of my clients that hopefully will serve you and help you, that you can maybe take some bits from it that may be able to help you in your business. Whether you've got a coaching business, you've got an online business, you've got an offline business, whatever it is you might have, I think it's really important that one, we get customer feedback on a regular basis. And one, we also need to have what I call in place a process called closing the loop. So I'll explain them. When somebody comes and joins one of my programs, particularly my high tier programs, but it also applies to all of my other programs, is one, they get a discovery pack, which sets out what are the key things they want to achieve, both in their life and also in their business when they're working with me. So that kind of becomes the benchmark, the starting point of our working together. And we revisit that through the course of my program, and also particularly and relevant at the end. So having a baseline to work from, I use what I call a discovery pack. It's got 20 questions that gets customers to think deeply about what it is they want to achieve in their life and what they want to achieve in their business. Number two, what I always have on a regular basis, which is weekly, I have the customer client to be giving me feedback on the key takeaways that they took from our session and the things that they'll be implementing before the next session. What that does is gives me an idea of where I can best support them. It gives me an idea of also, are there things that I'm falling short on that I need to help them with? It also gets them to plan out what it is they're going to do over the next week. Because I think sometimes we get off calls with our clients and we've explained to them what it is we would like them to do, or they've given us the feedback, but then you hear these crickets and maybe nothing happens. And then you're wondering why nothing has happened, is because they haven't been allowed to process what you talked about and what you've coached, if you're a coach, and then had the time to be able to write it down and then go away and implement it. So having those key takeaways to be able to help them get feedback for themselves of what they actually got from the session, and me as well, so that I know how best to support them. And then also the actions that they're going to take before the next session. That's number two. Number three, particularly if you're working with somebody over a long period, I will always have quarterly reviews. I call them Q1, Q2, Q3. So with my client today who works with me for 12 weeks, it was really just a Q1. And it was also that closing of the loop that I talk about, which is item number 4, which was a final review of what we have accomplished over the last 12 weeks. In the case of this client, today was a fantastic ROI in her investment, which is always gives me great, real gratitude, but also going through the things that didn't quite really work, as well as the things that did work. But we're doing a review over the period that we work together. And then what I love to do, even if they're not going to be working with me in the future, or at least in the initial future, that I love to give them a roadmap of how it is they're going to achieve whatever their goals are going to be in the future, even if they're not working with me. And that gives me so much joy. Now, you might think, well, that's a little bit crazy, but it's not, because I think always things come around. They come around to you. It may not be with this person, but she's going to refer this person to somebody else who potentially will come back and work with me. But if you give them that map of what it is their future is going to be like and how it is they're going to achieve it, even if they're not going to be working with you, that is so much value. It really, really is. I know sometimes counterintuitively you think, why would you want to do that? But believe me, having now done this for 5.5 years, giving people that roadmap into the future will really help you and serve you, and more than likely will come back and support you in the future. It's karma, isn't it? It's just karma. So that's what I do. I have a process to be able to help people give themselves and give me feedback in the process of working with them, but also give them the opportunity to review on a quarterly basis if they're working with me for more than a year, and then having that closing loop at the end. And I know having a process like that in place helps me to make sure that people are getting what it is they want. I'm giving them the proper support. There's measurable goals in place. We got key metrics. We can collect the data and then be able to measure as we go along, rather than get to the end and you find that you got a big surprise. So hopefully that's been helpful for you today, wherever you're in the world. I know that if you're looking to build an online business and you want to do it on LinkedIn, it's a super great platform. But the problem that a lot of people have is they mess up on their profile. They don't optimize their profile. And how, having worked with so many people on LinkedIn, when I first created my course back in 2021, my online LinkedIn Launch Academy, I've seen so many people who start building on LinkedIn, but they don't create and optimize their profile. That's why I created a free resource. I'll put it in the comments below. All you need to do is download that one page that will show you how it is you can optimize your profile on LinkedIn. And then you're on your way to success on the platform. And hopefully that's been helpful and served you today. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.